Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. So, today we're going to do some listening, speaking, and pronunciation on listening selection, of the Dead Poet Society, Rip It Out scene. And I want you to think about this question. Do you think students should always follow the rules, or should they sometimes think for themselves? Just think about it. There's no right or wrong answers. So today, we're going to listen to a short scene where a teacher challenges students to think differently. So our objectives today are by the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to understand the main idea of a short listening, discuss its message using your own words, and practice clear pronunciation using stress and pausing. So let's listen with a purpose. I'm going to play a short clip from Dead Poet Society. The first time we listen to it, don't worry about every word. You're going to listen for the message and ask yourself, what is the teacher encouraging students to do? All right. So, what do you think? Should students always follow the rules or should they think for themselves? I want you to turn to your partner and share one idea. And remember, there's no wrong answer. So the clip from Dead Poet Society, Mr. Keating was speaking passionately to his students, right? And so when we're listening to that, and we're going to listen to it again, I want you to think about how we use two strategies: the top-down strategies, where you're listening for big ideas and emotion, and the bottom-up strategy, when you're listening for specific words and sounds. And so we listen to the message not for any particular word. We're not listening for every word this time. We're listening for those big ideas. We want to know what are the big ideas and emotions, and then focus in on specific sounds and words. All right. So again, what is the teacher encouraging students to do? Okay. Think again. Is the teacher saying that rules are bad, or is he saying something else? All right, I want you to turn to a partner and I want you to discuss with your partner what is the main idea of this scene. All right, well, before we get deeper into it, let me model it for you. So, what is the main idea of this scene? The teacher wants students to think for themselves, not just follow rules. And remember that different ideas are welcome. It's your perception of what was going on. What do you think? Tell your partner. Okay, good. So now let's focus on pronunciation just for a short moment. So listen to this sentence. You must think to learn for yourself. I'm going to say it in two ways. You must think, you must learn to think for yourself. You must learn to think for yourself. Do you hear the difference? So stress tells the listener what matters, and this is very important in persuasive speaking. So let's practice together. First, we need to identify which words sound stressed. You, okay, good. Yes, must, think, and yourself. Now compare which version sounds more powerful. Exactly, the second one. Now produce. Say it with me. You must learn to think for yourself. Excellent. That rhythm helps your listener understand your meaning. Okay. So when we go back to that, when we stress important words, the meaning becomes stronger. So let's say it together again. You must learn to think for yourself. Great. So here's another speaking strategy we call chunking. Good speakers don't rush, they pause. So if you noticed in this lesson, I've been taking a lot of these what we call pregnant pauses, the kind of extended pauses so that you can really ingest and understand what I am saying. So you say, you must learn to think for yourself. Let's try it together with the pause. You must learn to think for yourself. So that's excellent. That was clear and confident. So I want you to choose, we're going to choose one of these sentence starters. Students should think for themselves because, or rules are important because. And when you speak, I want you to stress one important word and I want you to pause for clarity. For example, students should think for themselves because learning is personal. I'm going to walk around and provide feedback to everyone while you're doing that. So work with your partners. All right. Now, students, you're in our class, and let's do another sentence starter. I want to know what you think about what we heard. And you can use the headphones and the devices, your Chromebooks, to listen to the speech again. But I want you to tell me you agree with the speaker because, or I agree with the speaker because, or I disagree with the speaker because. Now, once you in pairs, you're going to say one sentence using strong stress on an important word. For example, I agree with the speaker because students need freedom. So this activity will help you with your fluency and your confidence in speaking and how you pronounce the words. All right, so now I'm gonna have you share one sentence aloud, and you're gonna tell me whether you agree or disagree with the speaker. I'm listening for clear stress, a clear message, and confident speaking. That tells me that you understood the listening and can use pronunciation to communicate meaning. All right, are we ready? All right. So I like that. I like the other ways that you put it. So for those of you that want to alter the question, you don't just want to say agree or disagree. You can also say students should think for themselves because our rules are important because. Those are different ways of saying the same thing. By saying students should think for themselves, you're saying you agree with the speaker. By saying rules are important because, you're saying that you disagree because they should follow these rules and these patterns, right? So again, when you speak, I want you to stress one important word and to pause for clarity, right? Again, I'm listening for understanding of the message, use of stress and pausing, confidence and clarity. This helps me to see that you understand and are developing real communication skills for real life. All right, so as we close this lesson, we listen for meaning, we practice speaking, and we use pronunciation to express ideas clearly, which was powerful communication. I like that you have been putting forth a lot of effort in your language learning, and I'm really proud of your progress that you have made thus far, right? We will continue to do that. Again, I want you to pick